People. So, it's my first YouTube video. I'm excited. It's going to be everything Arsenal. I will do some Q&As as well. Take some suggestions in the comments about any videos you want me to do or any topics you want me to cover in terms of the Arsenal world. And just in general, any like big breaking news that happens or any transfer news in terms of players we're linked with and stuff. And don't worry, I'm not going to be like some other people out there where, you know, they just do things for clickbait. Like we're linked to Messi. I'm not going to do none of that. Yeah? All legit things. Fabrizio and David Ornstein. Yeah? Those vibes. That's what we're going to be doing. But today, I just want to talk about Martin Odegaard and Eberechi Eze. Reason why is because I think it's quite interesting. I was talking about this to a lot of my friends and some of my family members are Arsenal fans. We feel like, well, most of us feel that it will be good competition. And me personally, I agree. I think it's because if you look at the way the Arsenal structure is now in terms of the players, in terms of the depth we have, you can see Arsenal really trying to go for something this year. I mean, like, we got Saka and Madueke on one side, even Dalman now, he's kind of bedded in that team slowly as a sub. Up front we've got Kai Havertz, Gyökeres. On the left we've got Martinelli, we've got Trossard, we've got Mikel Merino, Declan Rice, we've got Norgard, Zubimendi, we've got Saliba, and we've got Mosquera, we've got Ben White, Timber. On the left we've got Calafiori, Skelly, and then we've got Gabriel and our new addition, Hikapié. So yeah, it's looking really bright. I think that's what separates us probably from last season is the depth. I mean, if you look at all the teams that were in that top four table last year, you know, they definitely had more depth. You know, injuries are part of the game. I don't really use that as an excuse because every year, every team has an injury. You know, it's about how you prepare in the summer, additions you get in January, which help that momentum going and see if you can push for the title. But yeah, I think Eze coming into a team, it's going to be great. I think when I watched him against Liverpool, it's easy to see that he looked very comfortable taking players on. I mean, he did an amazing flick that got past Szoboszlai. It's a shame it didn't end in a goal. But just those little bright flashes just add something different, you know. We lost 1-0, but the game was decided by a free kick. Me personally, I know every single game is crucial. And, you know, in the Premier League, it's very competitive. You've got City, Liverpool, Arsenal. You know, Chelsea are looking good now. They've got good depth. They've got some quality players, got a great coach. You know, Man United, still a big question mark. Sorry, United fans, but I mean, Grimsby Town, man. You know, could be worse for Arsenal. But yeah, I think all these teams are just looking solid, you know, and I think that's why, as a Premier League team, regardless of who you support, you have to have a good transfer window because that's what separates you from winning a trophy and not winning a trophy. I mean, Liverpool look attack-wise, you know, like a FIFA manager career mode thing. We've got Isak, Ekitike, Salah, Chiesa, Gakpo, Szoboszlai, McAllister. They're looking like a real threat. And I'll be honest, me personally, if I don't think Arsenal win it, I definitely think Liverpool will. If I had to put my odds on it, I think with Liverpool getting Isak, I think Liverpool's odds of winning the trophy are slightly higher than Arsenal. But that's just me just being unbiased, so I've got to be real. You know, you can see I'm wearing the old school Arsenal top. So I've been through it all. So, you know, it's just a journey we've been on and I'm not deluded. You know, I'll say the truth in which I believe and what I know, knowing from the facts. But yeah, anyway, with Odegaard, my issue is that since his injury, he's just not been the same last year. And I think the previous year before that as well, you know, he just looks a bit shaky in terms of having a shot, taking players on. I mean, just always having touches in the box, more than any other player, I think, in the Arsenal team. And there's no shooting, it's just passing. I mean, I went to the game against Bournemouth last season at the end, where we lost 2-1. And it's like he had so many opportunities to shoot, but he just doesn't want to do it. And I don't know if it's because Arteta's telling him, you know, you're our key player, we need you in there. So don't put yourself in situations where, you know, you can possibly get injured. But again, you know, it's the 2023-2022 season. Odegaard in the Premier League had 11 goals and 11 assists. So he can do it. And I mean, with him being in that team, in that season, he was a crucial player. You know, he compared to De Bruyne, Fernandes. There was a debate between the trio who's a better playmaker. And you know that's a big thing. You know, he's been compared to someone like Kevin De Bruyne, who's world class. And obviously Fernandes, I'm not a Man United fan, sorry, but he's not a bum. Like, I actually like Fernandes. Man United aren't going through a good time right now, but he puts the numbers up, so that's something we can't deny. But yeah, I think with Martin Odegaard, I think him having Eberechi Eze as competition is good. And I mean, I want what's best for the team. I want Odegaard to do well, but if Eze plays well, then why not start every single game? You know, why can't he start ahead of Martin Odegaard if he plays better and he scores goals? I mean, he does offer, you know, that X factor which Martin Odegaard's kind of lost, like having a pop at goal, which isn't difficult. He did it last year against Liverpool at Anfield, and then Odegaard just shooting. He didn't score, but that save that Alisson had to make led to Marino just giving it a little header, and that's it, goal, 2-2. So it just goes to show that, you know, when you test the keeper, what you're not doing, there are outcomes which could be goals, you know, or defense be like, yeah, we need to watch out for him. So then it'll give players like Saka a chance to run in a bit more, because right now we just look a bit flat-footed. When we played against Leeds, we scored a goal or two, I think, before Odegaard came off. But when Ranieri came on, the dynamic just shifted. I mean, we just played a bit more flow football. He ran in and out, scored goals. Gyökeres got involved. I'm not saying it's because Odegaard's a problem, but I think we look at him as the guy that will, you know, thread the balls in, do the lob assists, you know, pass down the field, cut through defences, which he's done in the past, you know. If you go on YouTube, but there's loads of compilations where Odegaard's making some crazy passes which lead to goals. But yeah, it's just lacking right now. And I think moving forward, you know, as Arsenal fans, like, we have pressure on Arteta. If he doesn't deliver, then people are saying, he needs to go. I don't personally think Arteta needs to go. He's brought a lot to the club already in terms of giving us even that hope. I mean, this top alone, this was 8-2 by Man United. So I've seen it all. So I think where Arteta's taken us now, you know, being in that Premier League title conversation. Obviously, we don't want to just be a conversation. We want to actually lift that trophy. That's what I want to see. I feel like it's a good thing. So, but like I was saying, I think the pressure on him and then the pressure going on Odegaard as well, like, he needs to deliver, you know. And it's not just him, it's Martinelli as well. I mean, we obviously had the bids for Al Nassr, but if it doesn't go through, then that means Arteta has belief in him. But if he has belief, then he needs to produce on the field. So these are things that we need as Arsenal fans. And I think as well, in the future, that competition, hopefully, I think it will improve Martin Odegaard. That's my belief. I think he will improve having Eze there as strong competition. I think with Ranieri, because he's really young still, he's got a lot of learning to do, you know, off the field, on the field. He looks bright. But with Eze, you know, he's in his prime. He's 27, so he's not like, you know, he's fresh, you know, off the academy, or, you know, he's a young 20-year-old, 22-year-old becoming world class. He's a great player already, and I think this is his prime age where he's going to show his abilities, and that's what we need in order for us to take it to the next level on the title. So yeah, so those are reasons why I think this season will be interesting. I don't know how to call it in terms of who's going to play better than who, in terms of Eze and Odegaard, but I feel like in all aspects it'll be positive. So going forward, I think having just maybe those two could be the missing piece of the puzzle. You know, where Odegaard plays, let's say, I don't know, 60 minutes, bam, Eze comes on, scores a goal, or just adds a bit more flair, or vice versa even. You know, Eze could have some bad spells in the game where he's starting, Odegaard comes on, changes the transition, changes the tempo. These are things that happen, you know, so it's the best thing about football and having depth. Thank you so much for listening. I hope it's been a great video. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts below about any other players, or if I was chatting gibberish the whole time. Bam.